Marrese Crump, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm blown away as what I am. It's just, I know I've said this a lot to practically every martial arts actor I've had the esteemed pleasure of interviewing this year, but that's just what it is. I'm eternally grateful that everybody takes the time out for their fans, to talk about the philosophy of martial arts, to talk about the where their inspiration came from and their journey along the way. And yourself, you've done so well with yourself with your career, with martial arts, with movies, with training these big stars, which we're going to talk to about today as well. Which again, I'm eternally grateful to yourself, and just got to say, it's an absolute honor to have you on my show. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Us. Thank you. Okay. So first off, what I like to do with all my guests now, which I've been doing, it's become a part of my tradition, and in my culture, it's customary to when you meet somebody who's taken the time out to speak to yourself, such as a great individual as yourself. I like to start off by saying peace and blessings upon you. And I wish you nothing but the best. I pray for yourself and your loved ones for all the great opportunities. You receive more opportunities and you live a long, healthy, prosperous life to all of you as well. So I like to say thank you. So I like to extend the prayer on you as well, please, Sensei. And
Oh,
second,
thank you, and likewise. Peace and
thank you.
blessings, bro.
Thank you very much. Second thing I'd like to do is I'd like to congratulate you on all your accomplishments with martial arts, with training big, well-known people, and yourself as an action movie actor as well. I mean, you've done practically everything, and running the school every day, and that's it's a lot of encouragement, but it's really great. So again, congratulations on all your accomplishments, Sensei.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Most welcome. And one important question I've been asking a lot of my guests from now on, because my show is called Chat Over Coffee. In case we meet, how do you
hmm
like you? How do you like your coffee?
I'm gonna take the matcha. That's what. I, like I told you. You know what? I'm,
Yeah,
I'm gonna take what you have coffee. I'll drink the matcha because I used to drink coffee, right?
yeah.
And it just kept making me kind of jittery.
Oh
Some
yeah.
people just respond to it different. So the matcha still give me a little bit hype. So if I start talking a lot, you'll know the matcha kicking in. So
Oh, I'm down with that. So if I talk a bit fast, then the caffeine's kicking in. I'm only on my 10th cup of the day. No, I'm joking. Only the third one.
oh wow, wow, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
but
hear
yeah,
you.
it has to be done. It has to be done. I'm a coffee fanatic, hence why I love the beverage so much. I had to name my show after it as well. So, yeah,
That's what's
it,
up.
it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. No, thank you.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
Sensei, first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Cha as well for for being so helpful, being so grateful, and I appreciate everybody's patience and everything. I know our times have been a bit can't make it here and there, everything, but I appreciate the time for this, for you guys to talk to me and arrange everything as well. So I like to extend peace and blessings upon her as well for being there, being very
Oh,
supportive.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. It's like I always tell
You're
people,
both lucky. Luck runs both ways.
very lucky, man. I'm so lucky. With martial arts. Martial arts and movies, and I spend a lot of time training, and sometimes I would spend a lot of time on the road also, right?
Yes.
But she's always got my back, man. And and I can tell you more too. Like she's actually worked on some projects. She's not like an actor or anything like that, but she knows very well how the process goes, which is very helpful. So
Well, congratulations to her as well. Then maybe I'll do a spin-off on this episode.
yeah,
We'll chat over coffee with Char.
that,
There you go. That's
yeah,
that's what
chat
I'm
with
saying.
yeah that episode you can talk about cats. She loves cats, so y'all can do a whole
I
episode
like
about cats.
I like cats as well. To tell you the truth, I'm more of a
Oh,
cat.
do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a cat. I got to admit, I'm more of a cat person. I got to admit. So that's between us and everybody else out there watching as well. Yeah. So, Sensei, I know your martial arts background is so, it's quite esteemed and it's quite big and everything, but what is your martial arts background? Where did the inspiration came from? Because that's always my interesting part of every story. So please go ahead.
Well, I actually started martial arts when I want to say around like 7 or 8. It was like maybe like 8 years old.
Yes.
And, mostly I needed to learn how to protect myself, right? I was going through some stuff where I was dealing with some bullies. Every now and then you
Yeah,
gotta stand up for yourself, and
of course.
so I went through that part of my life. But I got involved with watching these Bruce Lee movies early on, and so watching Bruce Lee gave me like a lot of motivation, and I think it kind of sparked my imagination, like most of us, right? You watch Bruce Lee, and then
Yeah.
you read the book later, right?
Yes, yes,
And so I'm reading Bruce Lee books by the time I'm 10 years old, and I'm training. But my brother, my older brother,
yes.
Ronnie, he got me involved in martial arts actually. And he was really good. I mean, he's 4 years older than me, but he was like already doing it. And I just wanted to learn martial arts because it made me feel confident about myself. But later, when he got into the Marines, when he went to the military, I continued on my own training martial arts, and that's when I think it became more kind of like a philosophy, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
yes, yes.
You know, because I started to spend more time by myself and not training with other people as much, and then I was reading a lot. Um, but yeah, I started with a guy named Kim J,
Oh,
and I,
yeah.
I was talking to another friend about this. Kim J was my teacher, my brother's teacher. He was my brother's teacher. Um, and he's this guy who, he never had a commercial school. He never taught like a bunch of people. He was like my real life Mr. Miyagi. And
Classic, classic.
yeah, I mean, he really,
Classic, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
he
yeah.
really is. And it's funny because he was actually really young. Now that I'm older and I look back, um, I was like in my teen years, early teen years, when I was training regularly with him and my brother. But he was probably in his early 20s at that time. But he seemed so wise because he was so immersed in the martial arts. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
But we trained in his garage. He worked a regular day job, but in the afternoons he would invite me and my brother to come over, and he would have us doing boxing and wrestling and taekwondo, uh, because he's half Korean and half Irish actually,
Mm.
Kim J.
Nice
And
combination, that is.
very tough guy, very smart guy, and but he was cool, man, just super cool. And he took me and my brother under his wing, and I think that was what really changed my life in the beginning, because I started to see how martial arts not only had this power to make you feel confident, but also there was this deep philosophy that he'd be like, hey, Bruce Lee said this or Bruce Lee said that. And so that, anyway, that's how I got started, was Master Kim J in his garage. And that was uh, around the time I was about maybe 8 or 9 years old. I probably trained with him until I was my like late teens. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you still look exceptionally well for your age. I mean, I'm guessing you're still about late 20s, early 30s, I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
I like you a lot. I like you.
I like you a lot. Put it that way. No, but it's true.
I'm 43.
Wait, you're the same age as. I'm not going to tell you. Okay, yeah, you are. You're about just a year older than me, I would say.
Yeah, I'm 43.
Well, you look
Yeah.
phenomenal for your age. I got to admit. So you
Thank you.
good, good,
I'll
good.
take it. Thank you.
I have to give you a quick warning up front. You will hear me compliment a lot of my guests. Well, as the episode goes on, though I will definitely throw a lot of compliments towards you and everything. But this is just who I am. I just like to, you never think the worst for people. You always got to think the best, wish the best. Whatever's happened in the past, there's a saying: "Past is history, future's a mystery. You live in the present." That's how it goes.
Hmm. Well, my mom taught me something a long time ago about compliments, right?
Yes.
She said when someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so
I agree.
I learned to accept it, and never push people's praise away, especially when it's authentic. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
I like your mother very much. She's a very smart lady and everything. God bless her and everything.
Uh,
Yeah, thank you. So, it's true what you say about martial arts and everything. When she started from a young age, it becomes your life for forever, doesn't it? I mean, I wish I had started doing martial arts myself when I was a lot younger, but just never had the time to do it. You know, there was always high school, there was this, going off to college, and everything. Just never had time. I only had time to go to the gym to lift weights and everything. But I didn't. I
Mm,
got into martial arts when I was about, I think, in my mid to late 20s. I met my sensei at a
mm,
gym, and ironic thing is how I met him was he's doing a leg stretch on the Smith machine, and I said to myself, this guy knows martial arts. I go over there and speak to him, and I just said, "Excuse me, you're a martial artist, right?" He goes, "Yeah, third degree black belt in Shotokan." So I was right. We started training together, and his philosophy, his training really changed my life. You can walk down the street with a big level of confidence. Like if someone says anything to me, I know how to deal with an altercation now. Not with physicality, but with psychology instead. It takes a smart person to walk away from the conflict, and it takes a person seeking attention to run towards it. Who's seeking validation is what I was always taught.
mm,
So walk away. It's
mm.
better for yourself. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm big on that. I'm really big on what you were saying about the walking away and martial arts being how you use the mind. So we'll get into all that, but yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
appreciate
Absolutely.
appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. So, what is your current training regime? Because, like I say, you are. I've seen quite a lot of your fitness videos with the eskrima. Because you're very well trained in Kali, eskrima, a lot of Filipino martial arts. I remembered one fight scene you did, just to go in a little bit into your fight scenes. One fight scene you did in the movie Wrong Side of Town with Dave Bautista, because I know he's trained with you. You know
Mm,
the big wrestler and everything. For a big guy,
mhm.
he can move. I give him that. For a big guy, he's exceptionally quick. And I remember when he was talking about yourself in the interview, he goes, "Yeah, that's more. So that's my impression. It's not a very good one." And yes, that's Dave's. Maurice is very. He's very faster than me and everything. He's very quick. And I saw the extreme. The fight scenes you were doing with the knives and everything. Because you said once that in Filipino martial arts, you're trained everything backwards. You learn the weapons first. You know how to throw the punches later. Is that true?
Yeah, so I learned Filipino martial arts from Grandmaster Ray Dianaldo. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy. I
Now,
can shoot you some links on
oh,
YouTube.
please, please.
Yeah. So he's a highly skilled master of the Filipino martial arts, and I'm so lucky. I started training with him when I was, I think, around 14 or 15 years old, and man, it changed my life because you start with weapons, you start with the stick and the knife, but then you learn how to translate that into empty hand principles,
Oh,
right?
yes, yes.
And in the West, we do a lot of boxing and wrestling,
Yeah.
but when you work with a blade culture, when you're dealing with a culture that surrounds their practice with blade first, it changes everything.
Yes, yeah, you.
Because you can't make mistakes, right? You can't
No, no.
you can't cover up and go, "Hey, man," like
You
you
can't
got
do
to
that.
actually get out of
Yeah,
the way.
you
So,
got to keep the
yeah,
guard up, but you just got to keep moving, like doing
yeah.
this stuff and
So
everything. Got it.
it's cool.
Cool.
So yeah, Filipino martial arts for me has been a process of learning how to focus on precision. Right,
Yes,
that's one thing that I've learned through the knife. Be very precise. But I always tell people if you learn Kali, it helps you get over the ego part of martial arts very fast.
yes.
Right, because when you're 20 and you're like a badass, you like hit the bag real hard, you feel good.
Of course, yeah.
uh you know but then you see a guy training with this knife and he's moving his hands like really fast, and you're like, I don't know, I don't know if I could get out of the way of all of that. You know what I mean? So
Some of it,
uh
yeah.
I think it helps a person. Yeah, right, a little bit. So
A little bit.
I think it helped me. Like I wasn't like a big ego guy, but well, we all have our moments, and so it helped kill the ego. It helped to get the ego out of the way so I can actually learn and focus. So yeah.
It's cool. It meant you don't know anything until you actually learn something, ain't it? It's like when you learn to drive a car. You learn a little bit. You're not going to go on the freeway. What in England we call it the motorway. You don't learn on that first. You have to build up the steps to it. As the same, it's an old cliche saying, but it's a fact. Rome was not built in a day. In other words, greatness is not built in a day.
Mhm.
Experience isn't built in one day. But you can learn a lot in one day. But but it'll only last for that period. And the next day is more experience to be learned. Every day we learn something new.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what else do you do? Because I've seen the training regimes. Because you do Kali, you do ninjutsu, you've done you're always pumping the iron with weights. I remember this one clip you did on Instagram where it was your birthday, and you're rolling down the mat, and you just jumped up and you threw a capoeira kick as well along the way. So you are quite trained in capoeira. Because I remember watching some of your fights, and I could tell a little bit. Okay, that's a Muay Thai shin kick. There's a capoeira spin kick and everything. So I was picking up the route. I was picking up your movement quite quick, to tell you the truth, Sensei.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah. Once again, my capoeira training came from training with my teacher, Mestre Honi Costa, right?
Cool
He's
name.
down in Florida, but he came over from Brazil. I think it was like mid 90s, maybe. He came over from Brazil to Florida, and I remember like calling him because I studied all these different martial arts at the same time, and uh I never really slept when I was a teenager. I'd sleep like a couple hours, right? Because people always ask me, "How did you learn capoeira and Kali?" And I'm like, I just slept a little bit, then got up and went and trained. So, um, but I called him. I remember calling him, and I was like, "Hey, I've been looking to learn capoeira. I didn't know that there was anyone in this area that did it." And he lived about an hour away from me. He told me he had a student,
Yes.
a woman named Becky. Actually, she was my very first capoeira teacher, Becky, and she taught me how to ginga and how to move. And one day she was just like, "I think you should go train with Mestre, go train with our teacher." And so I started traveling a couple hours training with him. And capoeira's a very, I don't know if you ever trained in capoeira,
Oh,
but
I
it's a
have. I
beautiful
have.
art.
Yeah, I have. It's
Um,
one of my favorites, actually.
yeah, it's a beautiful art,
Oh,
and
yes.
and uh, and it teaches you. For me, it taught me how to find my internal rhythm,
Yes.
right? Not just the dance itself, but to find like that almost, I would almost call it like a spiritual rhythm. It's a personal rhythm that you find through training capoeira. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because a lot of people, sometimes when I used to go to the gym, and so when I would go to the gym, I would do capoeira Jenga training just to get the heart rate up. And people are like, why don't you just run on the treadmill? It's like, there's the outdoors, it's nature, it's way better for you. No offense to the treadmill, but I'm more of an outdoor person
Mhm.
myself. And when you do the capoeira Jenga training, I feel like that burns way more calories, and it gets your heart rate up crazily high. You're more than pumped up to go for the weights and everything, and then you have to throw all the kicks,
Mm.
the ishada, everything along the way, and it just makes you feel better. You just throw the capoeira music on, and then there you go. You're just doing the Jenga. You're kicking the bag, even though sometimes you get shouted at. Don't kick the bag at the gym. It's like, well, that's what it's there for. Like, we just didn't care. We just did it. We just did what we had to do at the end of the day. But without a shadow of a doubt, capoeira is one of my favorite martial arts. But what is your overall favorite martial art, that your go-to martial art? What would you say that is?
So now you just asked the one question.
Ooh.
I loved it. I love this question because I get asked this question a lot. So
Oh, please go ahead.
I don't have a favorite martial. I don't have a favorite martial art. Uh, I absolutely don't. And here's the interesting thing.
Yes, yes.
I've studied all these different martial arts, and so some people ask me, say, "So how, do you mix them together? How do you blend it?" I actually don't feel like I mix martial arts together either. Um, what I do is I experience each martial art
Yes.
the same way I would go and spend time with a friend. But then if someone said, "Well, which one of your friends do you like the most, and which ones do you not like the most?"
Yeah,
Like,
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
it's like these are my friends. They're all different. They're all
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
And you learn something different from each one of these friends,
I
right?
agree with that. That's a good way of putting it.
So,
It's a good way of putting it.
right now, sometimes you spend more time with one friend, right, than you spend with the other friends. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how
yeah.
I look at it. That's the way I look at it. So I don't really have a favorite martial art.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. But good recovery there and everything. And yeah, it's true what you
I
say.
think, and I
Yes, you were saying.
well, and I think it's also important too to not, and this is me personally, um, in every walk of life, especially in martial arts, there's a lot of, if people spend enough time in martial arts, they know there's a lot of disagreements also sometimes within the martial arts, and
Yeah,
oh, this person don't like that person, or or this person don't like this style. I don't participate in any of that at all. So I'm totally free, right? I'm totally free. I can train with anybody that has a good heart. I can learn from anybody of any belt rank or no belt at all. And so that's what I love about martial arts is that I was taught to be totally free and totally focused on my self evolution and to help those around me. So that's my answer. I don't have a favorite
that's
martial
a
art. I
that's
just have a
yeah, that's a very good
yeah.
answer. That's actually one of the best answers I've ever heard, and I've been doing this podcast for quite a few years now, I would say, and that is actually, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best answers I've ever had.